Some of you are smiling. I think you ought to reserve judgment. Earth is not the same place you left. Most of you have something on the order of $400,000 coming to you, accumulated pay and interest. But Earth is on a war footing, and, of course, it is the citizens of Earth who are supporting the war. Your income puts you in a 92% income tax bracket. $32,000 might last you about 3 years if you're careful. Eventually, you're going to have to get a job, and this is one job for which you are uniquely trained. There are not that many jobs available. The population of Earth is nearly 9 billion, with 5 or 6 billion unemployed. Also keep in mind that your friends and sweethearts of 2 years ago are now going to be 21 years older than you. Many of your relatives will have passed away. I think you'll find it a very lonely world. But to tell you something about this world, I'm going to turn you over to Captain Siri, who just arrived from Earth. Captain?
Thank you, General. I don't know where to begin. Things have changed so very much since I was a boy. I'm 23, so I was still in diapers when people left for Aleph. To begin with, how many of you are homosexual?
Nobody.
That doesn't really surprise me. I am, of course. I guess about a third of everybody in Europe and America is. Most governments encourage homosexuality. The United Nations is neutral, leaves it up to the individual countries. They encourage homo life, mainly because it's a one-sure method of birth control.
That seems specious to me. Our method of birth control in the army is pretty foolproof, all men making a deposit in the sperm bank, and then vasectomy.
As the general said, the population in the world is 9 billion. It's more than doubled since you're drafted, and nearly 2/3 of those people get out of school only to go on relief. Speaking of school, how many years of public schooling did the government give you?
14.
It's 18 now, more if you don't pass your examinations, and you're required by law to pass your exams before you're eligible for any job or Class 1 relief. And brother boy, anything besides Class 1 is hard to live on, yes?
Sir, is it 18 years of public schooling in every country? Where do they find those schools?
Oh, most people take the last 5 or 6 years at home, or in a community center via hall screen. The United Nations has 40 or 50 information channels giving instruction 24 hours a day. But most of you won't have to concern yourselves with that. If you're in the force, you're too smart by half.
He brushed hair from his eyes in a thoroughly feminine gesture, pouting a little.
Let me do some history to you. I guess the first really important thing that happened after you left was the Ration War. That was 2007. A lot of things happened at once. Locust plague in North America, rice blight from Burma to the South China Sea, red tides all along the west coast of South America. Suddenly, there just wasn't enough food to go around. The United Nations stepped in and took over food distribution. Every man, woman, and child got a ration booklet, allowing them to consume so many calories per month. If that went over their monthly allotment, they just went hungry until the first of the next month.
Some of the new people we'd picked up after Aleph used thought they're them instead of he, his, him for the collective pronoun. I wondered whether it had become universal.
Soon, there was inequality in the amount of food people consumed. The impartials began to assassinate people who appeared well-fed. In a few months, there was a worldwide class war. The United Nations managed to get control, but by then the population was down to 4 billion. The food crisis was finally over. There's still rationing, but it's not severe anymore. The world has only one currency now, calories. Your $32,000 is about 3,000 million calories, or 3 million Ks, kilocalories. Since the ration war, the United Nations has encouraged subsistence farming. Food you grow yourself isn't rationed. But farming seems to encourage large families, so the population of the world has more than doubled since the ration war. Also, we no longer have the abundance of electrical power. Only a few places in the world where you can have power all day and night. It's been going on for over a decade.
We had to wait several weeks before we could get a ride back to Earth. We'd be going back on our anniversary, but first she had to be taken apart and put back together again.
Bye.